It's 3 a.m. Your heart is pounding, not with excitement, but with a thought that is tearing you apart. What if I have made the biggest mistake of my life? Raise your hands if you were ever in the crossroads where you felt that you had to choose between your family and your ambition. Keep them raised if you chose family, only to have sleepless nights later wondering, was that a mistake? I see you all, and I am you. Last year, a thought struck me like lightning. Millions of people, especially women, often find themselves in these crossroads. What is more heartbreaking is, many of them don't get their way back to their dreams. What we often forget in the process is these detours can also lead to some beautiful destinations, and what we consider as something as an end can be a start of something beautiful. Picture this with me. A crowded bank in Ajmer. Sounds of stamping papers, impatient customers, and counting money. There, in one corner, is sitting a 10-year-old girl, avoiding eye contact literally with everyone, just waiting. That 10-year-old girl was me. And the lady behind that cash counter? My mother, Ravija. Every single day, she used to drive 6 kilometers to this bank on a scooter. Sharp at 2 p.m., she used to leave her bank, come to our school, pick us up, and take us back to the same bench where me and my sister used to wait till her duty got over at 5. More than 12 kilometers daily in scorching heat of Rajasthan for years on a scooter. I ask you, how many of you have that Ravija in your life? Someone who has sacrificed their dreams just so that you can build your own. I leave you here with my first thought. Foundations are something that people build us by sacrificing their own dreams. Be humble and always carry that as your motivation. Fast forward at the age of 17, I was ready to break my very first boundary. I wanted to pursue my engineering far from home, something that back then, 20 years ago, was a little difficult coming from a town in Rajasthan. I chose between the known and unknown. I chose the unknown. All the way from Ajmer, I traveled to Belgaum to pursue my engineering. People here, my classmates, had some interesting theories from where I come from. Somebody had actually asked me if we do ride on camels. Yes, that was the truth 20 years ago. Often, I used to find myself crying to sleep. But you know what? Every single morning, I showed up. I always showed up because I had decided to be resilient. It's okay to bend, but never break. Fast forward, I was working in Zurich. Imagine, it's snowing outside. You are working with some amazing bunch of Swiss bankers whose years of experience in total is more than my own age. And then love happened. Akshay, short, charming, spectacled person, always curious, a friend from Belgaum. Apparently, someone who had never thought of leaving Belgaum at all. And here I was, on the crossroads again. My career in Switzerland, my entire career in tech, in fact, or my future with him. And you guessed it right, I chose love. Welcome to my new reality. I found myself Googling things to do in Belgaum. From architecting complex banking systems in Switzerland, here I was finding my own purpose in life. At one point of time, I even thought, should I take up gardening? It's not that I had not knocked doors. I had knocked every single door. But back in 2014, there were no opportunities for my role in Belgaum. One night, I just couldn't sleep. I was sure this was a mistake. That's when, next day, I went to my husband and said, Akshay, this was a mistake. There is no IT in Belgaum. And you know what he said? He looked at me curiously and just said, what if there's no IT? You can always create one. Me, an entrepreneur? No. I need a structured path and plan. But when I let that thought sink in, I realized, what if IT is not everything? What if learning is everything? And that's when I looked for an opportunity and started helping my husband in his business. I learned from scratch, from accounts to all kinds of finances, cross-functional department collaborations. I was even working with customers, something which is not my forte. But I evolved, and eventually we started growing our own business. It was not because I was extraordinary or I was brilliant. It was only because I had not stopped learning. And then March 2020 happened. The world found everybody at some place which was not unfamiliar to me, the uncertainty factor. This uncertainty factor brought some beautiful opportunities as well. All of a sudden, overnight, remote became the new normal. Geography, which I was worried of, was no more relevant. Talent could be anywhere. And you know what, most importantly? I could be anywhere. I started thinking that itch which I had hidden behind of having to work into IT reignited. I started applying everywhere, piles of rejections. Of course, I had a long career gap. Of course, I felt that the technology is getting obsolete to what I had worked upon. But I didn't stop trying. After piles of rejection, here I was, hired at a startup, but another factor, not as somebody with a powerful experience, but as somebody who is just a beginner. I joined as a software engineer. I tried, I worked, I learned, I grew. 4 years, 5 promotions later, here I was standing as a proud mother, as somebody who realized that this detour can lead to a beautiful destination because I was ready to adapt. Amidst all of this, what I see today is when women call me and say, Garima, that one conversation changed my life. I feel beautiful and proud of what has happened. It was all an illusion. It was never a choice between career and your family. I was in the process of breaking my own boundaries, was becoming a Ravija in somebody else's life, motivating them to break their boundaries. And if it all I learned in this process was stop looking deeper and start looking wider. If you feel that your opportunities are limited, look wider. If you feel that your dreams are ending, look wider. If you are feeling stuck today, these are the 3 principles that helped me to break my boundaries and stand here today. Never be afraid to start from scratch. Do not stop learning. And the most important one is do not limit yourself to your educational qualifications. Opportunities are everywhere. And you know the most beautiful part of possibilities is they are infinite. Only if you decide to look wider. Thank you.